Hi Sagittarius, here is a general look at your solar chart for February 2013, but also with a big chunk of January thrown in. Over January, the material side of life may have been a sort of a key theme, but also you casting around for ways to organize incomings, outgoings better, or maybe it's the way you earn your money better. And there may have been some project or some thinking centered around property, space inside, outside, and the practical side of things, very much basic stuff. And also maybe health stuff as well, therapies, remedies, and the like. And then from the 20th to February the 19th, the Sun is in a very sociable area of your solar chart. That's you busy connecting, meeting, greeting, just gathering information, sharing information, educating others, but also learning stuff yourself and probably running around more, and that can be running around more physically as well as mentally. And it may also be highlighting vehicles for some of you, or communications equipment. And then from the 19th, the focus will probably be more inward, more to do with your private area of life, your home base, your family, maybe parents, especially on the father side of things, or the father figure, a base of operations, a space inside, outside, and you feeling things more deeply, you feeling a bit nostalgic, you harking back to the past maybe. Now, until the 19th, Mercury is very much in tune with where the Sun is, and that means that, again, conversations and the mental focus and maybe paperwork centered around anything to do with the money side of things, property, space, health, remedies, therapies, and basic the basic needs that we all have, but also incomings, outgoings, and getting more organized on that score there. And then from the 19th of February to 19th of January to February the 6th, Mercury is in a very sort of very chatty area of your chart. The meeting, greeting, the increased communications, paperwork, maybe more paperwork there, more correspondence there, great time for making connections, great time for learning stuff and teaching others stuff. And then from February the 6th onwards, discussions could be more centered around family, or a property, or a place on the map, or a space, whether it's a base of operations of some kind, whatever it is. It's kind of sort of feels like a private, sort of ring fenced in a private sort of area of your life, or maybe it's your inner stuff, maybe you're feeling things more deeply there, and there could be more contact with family, particularly if it's parents, then the father side, or the father bloodline side is more likely, and there could be more contact or interaction within a community, a neighborhood, a tribe. And just chattier at home, or about property, or correspondence about property, or from a property, that's to say a home base or a base of operations, and you on the move more within a locality as well, possibly, and that is going to be in that area there. Mercury is going to be there until April 2013, so quite a long transit in that area, where the mental focus will be in and around that area there until into April 2013. I just wanted to say about the first major aspect of 2013 for us all the signs, is a really good one, and it involves Jupiter, your ruling planet, and Mars. Jupiter's being in your opposite sign, Gemini, and Mars is in Aquarius at the moment, and they make a really nice aspect to each other in the first few days of January, and that kind of sets the tone of wonderful expansion and potential for new growth, new roots going down in this fresher, springier, more bubbly, young, dawning light of the new age that we're in. The green shoots will be coming up soon, and we are just in the very, very first breath of this, the blush of this first dawning in this new age. Yes, so this lovely aspect means that there's everything to play for, and also probably being able to manifest what we would like, as long as it is on that higher vibrational level that is now impacting our planet more easily. Now, unfortunately for you, Venus, the planet of love and beauty and just sort of feeling balanced within, was in your sign up until the 9th. You're probably watching this after the 9th, though. And then Venus, luckily for you, moved into a money sector. Venus does also rule money herself. From the 9th to February the 2nd, Venus is in a materialistic area, which means that the balance can be brought in there, and you can get, if you've got to negotiate things to do with the income, the budget, the property, basic stuff in life, possessions, then those negotiations or that teamwork can go well, and because Venus tends to oil the wheels. And it also means that if you play your cards right, or indeed if you know how to manifest what you want, that you can do very well there. And also it is indirectly to do with health, and the balancing of that, and your diet, your nutrition. It's particularly about food, so finding the good balance there. And then from the 2nd of February to the 26th of February, Venus is in your communications sector, oiling the wheels there, bringing hopefully grace and fluency and flow to your ability to communicate and also connect with others in a very non-confrontational, sort of friendly sort of a way, even though Mars was in your communication sector up until the 2nd, which can be very confrontational at times, and nitpicky maybe as well. But speaking of Venus, not at all. She will aid your fluency and bring grace and flow to what you're saying, so you can help bury the hatchet, or do well in negotiations. If you need to smooth something over, this is the good time to do it. So make that phone call, send that message, knock on that person's door, whatever it is. Or also they could come to you, or maybe you come halfway to each other, whatever it's about. But also doing well with buying, selling, promoting, negotiating, etc. And also a relationship with somebody that you're learning a lot from, or you're teaching a lot to, or you're both teaching each other, can sort of do well under that transit of Venus there. And then from the 26th of February to the end of the forecast period, Venus is shining a very warm, friendly light to the roots of your chart, the foundations of your chart, which bodes well for property deals, or embellishing and decorating a property, or just being in a space or a place on the map, that you prefer, and enjoying that place or space better. Maybe doing the garden, although it's a strange time of the year in the northern hemisphere, but hey, there's always something to do in the garden. Mixing and mingling with others within a community, and really enjoying those sorts of contacts, and feeling quite relaxed with that. And also another way to look at this is that Venus here is likely to bring a feeling of balance and equanimity to you within. Now, Mars, until the February the 2nd, Mars is in your communication sector, and meaning that you can overdo it, maybe because you've got a lot of demands on you mentally. So you need to watch that, not to get frazzled or scattered. Go and do some meditation, sleep more, to offset the tendency to Mars to sort of make you feel nervy or jittery. Having said that, you could be very much on the go mentally and enjoying it, mixing and mingling, flying hither and thither, and for whatever the reason. But you should start to feel more confident about certain things. So maybe it's not so much the physical mobility. Maybe certain things weren't clear in your mind, but now they start to come into clearer focus, and you feel like, okay, I know what to do here. I see the target. I recognize it. I can let my arrow go. Whatever it's about, but you can definitely define better your objectives and your targets. You just feel clearer and about making a decision and going for it. And being proactive and successful within media, maybe of some kind, creative self-expression, promotional activity, negotiation activity, or just speaking up very, very clearly and expressing yourself in a more assertive kind of a way. But do watch out, because Mars can be very feisty and impatient and hasty and just too abrupt in this area. So just be aware of that. You're going to be helped very much by Venus coming into the communications sector, but when Mars leaves, Venus arrives, sort of thing. So maybe she can help you pick up the pieces if you have, put your foot in your mouth, which is a typical Sagittarius thing to do, but you do mean well. But you can be a bit clumsy sometimes. I should know. And then from the 2nd of February, Mars moves to the root of your chart, and that means that you could be very much busier on a base of operations, on the home base, but it doesn't have to be. It can be somewhere else, but you're just busier there. There's more demands on you because of that property or what's going on that base of operations around you in sort of quite a locality, or maybe you're working from a base over the wires out into the world, however it is, but you just got to watch it, that you don't get overtired, you don't get overstretched, because there's going to be more physical effort needed from you, but also probably stamina, needed from you to get things organized on this base of operations, which could be like a launch pad which underpins something in your general direction, your career. But you just need to work harder. It doesn't have to be career. It can just be, the current set of goals that you're sort of lining up at the moment. But a Sagittarian does need a target. If you don't have any particular target, then you're not a happy bunny, even though you are, not a bunny at all. But you know what I mean. You need targets to aim at. This is the whole deal about Sagittarius. Is that you need to have that distant idea that you're aiming to get to, and then you start to feel the sun energy really working in that direction. So there could be more hustle and bustle around you on a base of operations or from the home base from the 2nd of February onwards. Increased demands on you to give attention to nearest and dearest and family, TLC, or extended family, tribe, and there could be moments of tension with people close to you, which do affect your mood, and just try not to sort of secretly fume about things. But if you are doing DIY or that type of work, then this really is good, because the Mars energy is an outward focused energy, not really an inward focused energy at all. And there can be a little bit, it's easier to push your buttons with Mars in this area here, you trigger memories, you think harking back to the past, and time's gone by, and you can feel a little bit sentimental, which isn't necessarily a bad thing at all. But just with Mars here, it can stir things up, either to do with the past or to do with, and particularly to do with the father side, but to do with the past. It doesn't have to be the father side, if it is to do with parents. Now then, I'm going to just give just a brief take on each of the slow-moving planets. But if you want to know a little bit more, or about whether they're actually impacting your sign strongly at the moment, then that'll be written up on my website. Jupiter, your ruling planet, is going to be opening the way to growth through your close or personal or professional relationships up until June. and because of certain associations, your horizons are just going to automatically broaden because of what they're doing. And also you could be learning a lot through what somebody in your relationship sector is doing, or indeed it might not be your personal life, it might be that you're working one-to-one, and through them you're learning an awful lot by working one-to-one with them. But in general, partners, colleagues, clients, employees, employers, family members just get you thinking more expansively, or having to sort of enlarge your territory in some sort of way. Now, Saturn is in the sign before yours, will be there until 2015. And that means that at the moment you could be doing more inner work, beavering away at something in the back. Really, where Saturn is an area to do with, I call it the, it's like the area where things are developing and growing, like an incubating, like a sort of like a chrysalis or a cocoon. So in this kind of special sacred place within you, or just like a little sanctuary around you, you can be doing a lot. You can be building and engineering and shaping things to come, but also maybe clearing away some baggage from the past as well. This is maybe another way to look at this Saturn transit going through there. Maybe some of you are very much up for doing some more inner work, more therapeutic work, or therapeutic work, if you haven't done it before, but also artistic type work, because there's really an awful lot that you can build from your imagination, or your unconscious, or your dream world, or your intuitive insight and visioning, Sagittarius, you being the seer of the zodiac. So, this is how you could perhaps use that, but also another way you use it is that you're there as a support for others. That's, in a selfless kind of a way. Uranus is in a stunningly good angle to your sun sign, marvelous angle to your sun sign, and you early Saggies will have felt your life sort of spring off into new and fresh directions. And maybe unusual encounters and experiences coming your way, and you learning lots of things you didn't know before, and maybe taking up an unusual pastime or hobby or leisure pursuit, or getting into speculation, or launching into an enterprise which is is a little bit risky, but also hanging out more and enjoying yourself more, maybe with specialist type groups. It could be working like that. And then Neptune, the new position of Neptune, which is going to be there until 2025, means a more idealized or maybe isolated home environment or base of operations. So ideally, you could make this like a sanctuary place for take a little space to make like a sanctuary, because if it's going to be a little bit isolated anyway, then try and sort of just tip the balance into it being more like a place that feeds and nourishes you, rather than you just being there because it serves the common good. If it's like that, but it might not be like that. It might be to do with your emotional life, and maybe sometimes it's sort of little fogs of confusion or mists start trailing around about not feeling certain about a member of the family, not quite knowing where they're at or how they are, or indeed you in a relationship, in your heart of hearts. It could work like that. And then Pluto is now in the sign after yours, regenerating you very slowly over a very long transit through your material security area, through property, through finances, and the old order crumbling away, decks are clearing, a new dawn is breaking, and you making different types of choices about what is of true value to you in this world in a material sense. Is it money after all? Or is it money after all? I mean, you just gotta, you just come to your bottom line. You just you just sort of understand finally what basically what it's all about, what the nitty-gritty is about for you, and how you wish to live, who you wish to be with, and etc. And that's it for this little segment of 2013. If you know your rising sign or your moon sign, find the forecast for those and listen to those. They can see how that fits for you. And I wish you a very juicy 2013 and a cracking year. And I'll see you the next time.